Hello and welcome to Sweden with Ticket to Ride. Sweden is the largest and most populous of the Nordic countries, so it's not surprising that its capital is also the largest city in Scandinavia. The city is spread across 14 coastal islands in southeast Sweden, with Lake Mälaren to the west and the Stockholm archipelago and Baltic Sea to the east. Because of the fragmented landmass, the rail and public transport infrastructure is also, at least historically, disjointed. But the industrious Swedes are rectifying that position, and we see how. However, we start by looking at international arrivals and departures by air. The capital's international airport is Arlanda, that lies 43 kilometres north of Stockholm city centre. The A trains share the 4-track route south with SJ long-distance trains and SL commuter trains to and from Uppsala. There's little freight over this line. Freights between southern and northern Sweden generally avoid the Stockholm area by heading north from Hallsberg. Immediately south of Stockholm Sea is the old town, Gamla Stan, that lies on Stadsholmen, plus the smaller islands of Riddarholmen, Helgensholmen and Strömsborg. This is Riddarholmen, with Stadsholmen behind it to the east. A 4-lane highway is squeezed onto Stadsholmen and the double-track Mainline into Stockholm Sea from the south. This railway is linked to land north and south respectively by short bridges. This double-track line across the waterfront currently sees all SJ X2000 high-speed services, SJ Intercity and Regionals, all the commuter trains operated by SL from the south into Stockholm Sea, plus a small number of freights. Also crossing the island are 4 metro tracks, serving the only station in the old town, appropriately called Gamla Stan. The boat then passes under the 4-track red and green metro lines, and then the T-Centralen 4-lane highway and the double-track Mainline railway. As we've said before, this is currently the only heavy rail connection between the south and the north of Stockholm County and has to accommodate all traffic, passenger, local and long distance, and freight. This difficult situation will remain until the City Tunnel line is opened in 2017 or so, relieving the harbourside line of commuter trains. While the 1991 reopening was to be as a tourist heritage line, it soon became too successful for that alone and was merged into the general SL network in 2005, so providing experience for the city transport operator when new transport corridors were examined a little later. The other independent railway that we try is the Roslagsbanan. To reach it requires a short run on the metro, red line to Mörby Central. The starting station is Stockholm Östra, or East Station. The Roslagsbanan heads north and splits into 3 branch lines at the junction stations of Djursholms Ösby and Roslags Näsby. The 3 branches terminate at Näsby Park, Österskär and Kosta, respectively. The Roslagsbanan is now just the southern part of a once large narrow-gauge Swedish 3-foot system serving Roslagen and the Uppland districts, connecting Stockholm and Uppsala with ports, smaller towns and rural areas east of the capital. It was used for both freight and passenger transport. The next community along the line is Liljeholmen. Liljeholmen is the oldest Stockholm suburb outside the city limits and is today expanding rapidly. The municipality is on the red metro line routes 13 and 14, and with the arrival of the Tvärbanan is the major interchange point southwest of the city. While the tram has its own alignment, it twists and turns, following and avoiding a number of busy roads. The end station is Södra Långgatan, located in the middle of nowhere in particular by a roundabout 250 metres from Solna station. One of the first Tvärbanan expansion plans is to bridge that 250 metre gap. Solna station lies between Stockholm Sea, Arlanda and Uppsala. There are regular SL commuter trains stopping here, but the MTR Express does not. Nearby there are maintenance facilities for SJ and MTR, the Hong Kong-based concession holder for operating the metro and express trains to Gothenburg. Of the many other light rail expansion plans under consideration is continuing the 2/3 of a circle east towards Rupsten, connection there with the SL line to Aga, and then south to the ferry port, which at the moment is just served with buses. This option would see the line meet the Djurgårdslingen, which is in turn, as we said earlier, to be extended to and beyond Stockholm Sea. Now that would be useful. Thank you for travelling with Ticket to Ride in Stockholm. There's much for the rail fan to enjoy in the Nordic region's largest city, not least of which is the fabulous waterfront, where a colourful selection of trains await your attention. See it for yourself in TTR229. Until the next time, it's bye for now.